Hello. I did a lot of research about um, paintings with a subject of fires because of what's going on in LA with the wildfires. Um, I just wanted to find some comfort in what has happened within history, and I just wanted to share what I found from doing some research. So, fire, a force of destruction, renewal, and resilience. Living in LA, surrounded by the devastation of wildfires, I found myself turning to art as a way to process this experience. For centuries, artists have captured fire's dual nature in their work, using it as a metaphor for both chaos and transformation. In this video, we'll explore how fire has inspired some of the most striking artworks in history, from Turner's dramatic landscapes to Aboriginal fire paintings and beyond. Let's dive into how these works tell powerful stories about humanity and our connection to nature. Our first stop is 19th century London with JMW Turner. Known for his mastery of light and atmosphere, Turner was captivated by the chaos and beauty of fire. His painting, The Burning of the Houses of Lords and Commons, captures a monumental fire he witnessed in 1834. Look at the way he uses intense reds and oranges to portray the fire's heat and energy. The dark smoky blues and blacks contrast this, emphasizing the destruction and panic. Turner made several sketches on site, later transforming them into this dramatic oil painting. He made two of these. So it's a diptych. And these used to be, it started off as watercolors, on his sketchbook, and then he later turned them into oil paintings. Um, This wasn't the only time fire appeared in his work. In 1841, another major fire, this time the Tower of London, sparked more sketches. For Turner, fire wasn't just destruction, it was a spectacle, a force of nature that demanded to be seen and remembered. Turner was a master of light, and he balanced realism and his skill of observation with deep emotion. And so he was able to capture how it felt standing in front of this intense fire. This is The Fire of Rome by Hubert Robert, French painter from 1733 to 1808. Hubert Robert was a French painter in the school of Romanticism, noted especially for his landscape paintings, semi-fictitious picturesque depictions of ruins in Italy and France. I don't know, this painting feels more romanticized in a lot of ways, with the figure in the middle, in that power gesture, and the other people surrounding the landscape is kind of fleeing, but it shows some kind of power dynamics between the different figures. Um, but it's interesting to see the play of contrast and light. These are paintings by Vladimir Veličković. He's a Serbian artist. Um, Fire can also be a metaphor for human suffering. Vladimir often explored themes of violence and trauma in his work. Living through the horrors of World War II left a deep impact on his art. His painting, Fire 1996, is a haunting portrayal of destruction using mixed media, oil, tar, and sand. He creates a gritty texture that mirrors the raw, unfiltered chaos of violence. His limited palette of black, white, and red evokes a sense of urgency and despair. Velikovic's work forces us to confront fire as a destructive force, a reminder of humanity's capacity for both creation and annihilation. The fluidity of his lines and the intensity of his brushstrokes draw us into the scene, making us feel the heat and tension of the moment. Fire and Aboriginal art. Half a world away, fire takes on a different role in Australian Aboriginal art. For Indigenous communities, fire is a vital tool for land management and a spiritual connection to the earth and ancestors. Take Jorna Newberry, whose swirling red and orange compositions represent controlled burns. These burns, practiced for centuries, cleared vegetation to flush out animals for hunting. The spirals in her paintings symbolize the fire's movement and the wind guiding it. Meanwhile, Tarisse King portrays her people's fire traditions as active care and sustainability. As she describes, fire was essential for regenerating the land. Native plants like eucalyptus often require fire to release their seeds. Her paintings remind us that fire, when understood and respected, is a life-giving force. These works challenge us to see fire not as a threat, but as a connection between people, land, and history. Fire kinship, Southern California's native practices. Here in Southern California, native communities have long understood fire's role in the ecosystem. Before colonization, controlled burns were a regular practice, promoting healthy plant growth, reducing fuel for wildfires, and maintaining biodiversity. There's an upcoming exhibition at the UCLA Fowler Museum called Fire Kinship, Southern California Native Ecology and Art, highlighting these traditions. Through art and storytelling, Native leaders are reclaiming fire as a symbol of stewardship and sovereignty. Artists and tribal leaders like Lázaro Arvizu Jr. and Lorraine Sisquak emphasize that fire isn't the enemy, it's a partner. Their work counters fear-based narratives about fire, advocating for a return to these sustainable practices. I also did some research about the the extinction of the extinction of large mammals, like the just like the megafauna living in Southern California. This was a study done at UCLA, trying to see what happened to these large animals. So there used to be saber-toothed cats, direwolves, lions, camels, bison, horses, and sloths, and all those uh, animals here in Southern California. And around 1300 years ago, they just stopped existing. Um, some evidence they found from a sediment core in Lake Elsinore, in the tar pits, they found charcoal, which likely came from wildfires. Throughout history, fire has magnified the impact of humans for better or worse. Humans today are responsible for at least three factors that produce wildfires: the ignitions themselves, climate change, and the introduction of invasive species which change the fuel structure. Fires have been a long-standing tradition for humans. Um, the reason why wildfires exist is because we have the technology of fire, um, and that's just the nature of things. It's really unfortunate that um, the wildfires in Southern California kind of wiped out a lot of homes here in LA. But I just wanted to find comfort in the fact that this has happened so many times throughout history and all over the world. And, humans are resilient and will just continue to bounce back. And hopefully, this will allow us to rebuild and get better. So that's all. That's all I have to say. That's it. That's all. Bye.